Alright, Hades Omega here. So what I'm doing right now is I am updating the firmware on my Ion Air Pro 3. So you can see it's downloading it right now. It's about 50 megabytes. That is pretty big for a firmware. I don't know why. I must have a big enough chip to accommodate 50 megabytes of data. So this is my second Ion Air Pro. I'd actually updated this one earlier. So yeah, I just got these. They're like kind of brand newish. I got them on Amazon. Yes, I think I got both of these on Amazon. No, one of them I got on eBay, I think. But yeah, so it's updating the firmware right now. We can watch it. I'll show you the process for updating the firmware. My Ion Air Pro 2, these guys are actually I have a hard time connecting it to the computer. I don't know why. They don't like to connect to the computer, so I don't really touch them. But I'll show you how, after the firmware is updated, I'll show you how I set up these cameras, and I'll show you some interesting little new features that the Ion Air Pro 3 has. It's a little bit different than 2, but I'm hoping that the 3 will blow the 2 away, hopefully. Okay, so this is the download is complete. Unplug the USB from camera after the firmware update is complete. The camera will vibrate, shut down automatically, and don't put the Wi-Fi module in. So supposedly, I guess it's updated already, maybe, or it's going to update. So done. So I think what it does is it downloads the update to the card, and once I yank this, it starts updating the firmware. If I can do it with one hand, it's difficult. There we go. So there it is, it's blinking green. That must mean it's updating, right? And then when it shuts down, I can go plug it in. So also this says it was version 0.75, I think, was it what it says? But yeah, so when you start the Ion app, also you have to have the SD card in the camera. There it is, it's done. In the camera for it to actually hook up to the computer. It's still blinking. You know what? I actually the battery was in charge too before I did this, so I'm hoping that okay, there it says. So it said it was going to vibrate and it was going to shut off. So now it's done. I don't know why it stopped and then started blinking again. So now what you want to do? So you got to have an SD card in to actually operate the camera. If you don't, doesn't work at all. So just plug it in. Yep. I'm trying to hold the camera at the same time. Alright, so there it is. It's connected to the computer. So right now it's just charging right now. To actually connect it to the computer, you have to turn it on. To turn it on, you gotta hold this little button right here. It's very similar to Ion Air Pro 2. Hold it down until it starts up. It vibrates. There we go. And then something should pop up. There you go. I'm on KLR650.net right now. Alright, so, and then to actually, so this is what the contents of the card are. I think there's already stuff on here, yeah. But yeah, it's pretty much, it'll be this Ion stuff, and then this DCIM is where it saves the videos, I think. And there's an app for the Mac, and there's one for the Windows. And then the one you want to click on is Windows. Go to ion.exe. If it's a new card, it won't have this config.exe here. It won't be there. When you click on this, it creates that. So I noticed that. Let's start it up. So there we go. Taking a little bit to. So it says some of the functions are limited due to slow card has been inserted to camera. So I'm using my 16 gigabyte what is it? 16 gigabyte Kingston card. They're basically my backup cards. They're old cards, and I don't know. I never had any problem using them on the Ions, but maybe let's see what we can't use. So this is how I set it up. For photos, I probably just leave it on 12 megapixels, maybe 5. I don't know. But I'll just leave it on 12. I don't really use it for photos. It's too fisheye for the photos, in my opinion. And then I just keep it in single. There's a burst mode. I'm not really sure how that works. Maybe when you hit record, maybe it snaps the pictures every like 5 or however many seconds you say. And then there's a time-lapse mode. I just keep it on single. I don't, like I said, I don't really use this for the camera. And then, ooh, wow, there's a lot of grayed out settings. So the TV setting, I keep it on NTSC. I'm in North America. There's PAL. Oh, holy crap! So now that's a bunch of horse diddly right there. So I know for sure for the Ion Air Pro, I can record at 1080p 30 frames per second with these 16 gigabyte cards, but apparently these Ion Air Pro 3s they can't do it. It's kind of weird. Maybe it messes the camera up. I don't know, but it can't even do any HD stuff. That sucks. So I got to put a faster card in. But so I'll just tell you the general settings that I use. I use 1080p 30. I click on that, and a 720p 30. And I don't really use HD resolution. I just use full HD the whole time. The super wide angle recording on and off. So I'm not really sure how to turn that on. Oh, okay. For the different modes, I guess. I don't like I said. This is a new camera to me. It's new. There's different modes that you can use the super wide angle, and I know for the Ion Air Pro 2 it had a 180 degree angle, and while that that sounds pretty awesome, it's super wide angle, you lose a lot of detail with it. So I'm gonna have to experiment with this. I'll create a different video later and post it on my channel, but yeah, so whenever you click one of these, it probably makes it that 180 degrees is what I'm thinking. So it's nice that they give you an option to choose this time around. The Ion Air Pro 2 doesn't have that. But I'd prefer the angle not be too wide, because you lose a lot of detail. But I'm gonna experiment with it, see which one I like better. And then there's noise reduction. I don't know. I'm not really sure what noise reduction is. Maybe that's with the video. It could be because when it's dark or something, it gets noisy. Or it could have something to do with audio, but it's not. There's no audio section here, so I'm not really sure. And then in general, okay, here's the important one. So general, I just keep HDMI on auto. I don't really use HDMI. Auto power off after 3 minutes. Okay. There's a off 1 minute and 3 minutes. I'll just keep it on 3 minutes. Auto rotation. This is the important one. I turned that off. I don't like that auto rotation feature. It sucks. And then there's a vibration. You can turn the vibration on and off. What language, and format the SD card. Maybe if I format the SD card, it may work at the HD resolution. I don't know. I had no problem with this one. This one has this other one has I forgot. It has a 32 gigabyte Samsung Evo card, so I may need to get another one of those. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sync with PC. Yeah, so I don't know, wherever I bought this, it was probably a different time thing. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and shut it off, so it saves the settings. Okay. I think it wanted me to unplug it, so I'm gonna go unplug it again. And go plug it in again. Oh, it's blinking again. So I don't know if it's updating the firmware or anything. It's probably just saving the settings to the card. So when it's doing that, it's rewriting the settings on the card. So don't touch it. And just go ahead and plug it back in after. If I can find the port right here. Okay. Boom. I go ahead and turn it on. Now go ahead and, oh, it says the card is messed up. Sure, let's fix it first. Maybe this will help. I don't know. some problems were found and they fixed it. That's nice. Alright, so go back here and go back to ion config, ion.exe. Should pop up the window. It still says it's slow. Okay, well, whatever. We'll have to fix. I'll have to get a better card later. I'll probably just put the cards from my Air Pro 2s. The cards I'm using in my Air Pro 2s, I think they're SanDisk Ultras is what they are. Let's see. Here's my. Yeah, it's a SanDisk Extreme Pro. It's in 32 gigabytes. 32 gigabytes is more than enough for like a day or more of video. So 32 should be enough. You'll run out of battery before that. You run out of the data. All right, so yeah, so I just go through all the settings again. Auto rotation is still on. I want that off. I don't know why. Didn't change that. So let's go see if it did it again. So unplug it. This is so annoying. Yeah, I don't really like messing around with the camera. I'm just one of those guys, set it and forget it. So once I have it set up, I don't mess around with it anymore. Alright. Okay, shut off. Turn this back on, hopefully. So I'm trying to set these cameras up so I can start doing my moto vlogging and all that stuff. I just got that, so I just upgraded from the Ion Air Pro 2 to the 3 final. It says it still says there's something wrong with the card. Okay, you know what? This time, continue without scanning. I don't know why. So now there's an ion.exe here. I wonder which one I should pick. I wonder what happens if I do this one. It says that was on last year. Maybe that's for a different Ion card. I wouldn't touch that. Alright, here it is. Still messed up. Okay, so I don't know why it will do that. Let's try to update the firmware again. Okay, I'm running the latest firmware. So the firmware should be updated. So at least I got that done. Alright, so that's the firmware update process for the Ion Air Pro 3. So yeah, you just basically go over here to the Ion config program, and then just go to firmware check in general, or no, it's in any one, and then you just hit firmware check, and it'll actually check it, and then it looks like I'm at the latest, so that's good. Okay, Hades, I'm out.